morning, church. Just before we start, I just want to commit this short time into God's hands because I'm just human. I don't know it all. I just know a teeny-weeny bit. But I want God to enhance the little bit I know so that He can touch everybody. Father, we thank you for this moment and this opportunity that you've given to us to just talk and to express our feelings. And I pray, God, that the words that I'm going to speak today, that it will come from you. And you, God, will inspire me. Let me speak words of edification over your people, oh God. And as they hear it, oh God, let it sow seeds in their hearts and let them make good use of it. God, we thank you. You are Lord. I just want to say thank you, Papa God. And right now, as we speak, let your glory shine now. In Jesus' name. Amen. I just want to welcome every one of you this morning. My name is Marian Clarke. I am quite nervous because I'm not too good at talking in large groups. I've done it before, but it doesn't make any difference every time I do it. I still get nervous. But God has always given me the strength to carry me through. So today we just want to talk about an overview of mental health and well-being. Okay. And I'm just going to talk you through the few slides that I have prepared for today. I've kind of compacted it so that, we don't take too much time. And like Pastor said, the senior pastor, please feel free to ask questions. I do not know it all, but I will try my best to answer your questions. And the Holy Spirit will guide me as well. Okay, all right. So what is mental health? So if we go to the next slide. Okay, right. I cannot see very well from here, but it's a good job I have a backup. Okay, so we're going to focus on a few areas, and I'm just going to run that very quickly. The key focus area is what is mental health? What is good mental health? What does poor mental health feel like? Okay? And then I'll just bring some statistics. And then the difference between mental health and mental illness. Because I tell you, a lot of people confuse these two. Okay? Then we look at emotional resilience. We look at 5 steps to mental health and well-being. And then towards the end, we'll start to talk about when to seek professional help. And then we conclude. Next slide, thank you. So if I go through the definition of mental health, I put that on there. It's just to let you know that it's about the brain, right? Anything to do with the brain, it's mental, all right? It's not mental illness, okay? You'll find out that I'm going to continue to stress that throughout this short talk. Mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, realize their abilities, learn well, work well, have positive relationships, and contribute to their community. I purposely picked a very, very simple worded one so that we're all familiar with everything that is there. So, like physical health, everyone has mental health that can range from good to poor, and it requires care and attention. So, you see here that in order to, have good mental health, there are certain things that we should be able to manage, okay? But we talk through how that happens and how we can do that eventually. Next slide, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. You're well ahead of me. What is good mental health then? Okay. If we look at the positive outlook of mental health, it's feeling good about yourself and being able to cope almost with everyday pressures, okay? I'll say, for example, taking on new challenges and experiences. Everyone, I'm sure, will be able to tell me that they have had challenges in their lives. Has anybody now had challenges? Anyone who hasn't, can you put your hand up? Oh, okay, okay, all right. Yeah, everyone has been through challenges of some sort, okay? So you've got calmness, generally feeling calm and at peace. Then the emotional awareness is about understanding and expressing your emotions in helpful ways. Not everybody likes to express their emotions. If the truth be known, people like to keep things to themselves. We call it, it's my private life. I have to keep it private. I know that, but there are some things that we cannot keep private, that we need to share. Actually, you know, God made us that way, to interact with one another. If you remember COVID times, a lot of people went through a lot of mental health breakdown around the COVID. Do you know the reason why? Does anybody know the reason why? Isolation. Thank you. Isolation. Now, so that's God's divine way that he's telling us that you cannot isolate yourself from your brother, your sister, your uncle, your neighbor, or whoever. We have to interact. That's what makes the world go round better. Okay? All right. And so I continue. Then the resilience, being able to bounce back from difficult situations and make positive relationships. Okay, the next one then would be, what does poor mental health feel like? That's difficulty coping. The way you think, the way you feel, or behave becomes hard to manage. As I'm saying this, I just need everybody to try and remember and think about themselves, the times that they felt things have been so hard that they're finding it very difficult to manage, okay? I have. And I'm going to be sharing something with you guys as well eventually in a bit. Loss of employment. You may stop enjoying things. Loss of enjoyment, not employment. You may stop enjoying things you used to like. That is typical when we start to feel low in ourselves. We start to feel withdrawn from others. And things that we normally would feel excited about doesn't excite us anymore. Then comes the withdrawal, like I said. You might not want to be around people as much. Okay? Physical changes. These can include changes in sleep or eating habits. I just want to talk a little bit about this aspect of mental health. I'm not sure how brave people are, but I would like some interaction. I am not pinpointing anything. I'm not asking anyone to talk about their personal lives, but I just want to say, who has experienced any one of the, thank you very much for putting that back. Who has experienced any one of those things that I just mentioned, one time or another? To be honest, I can tell you, thank you, my dear sister. Would you care to share? Which part of that have you experienced? It doesn't have to be a whole...
I think the withdrawal, where I just want to be alone, I don't want to talk to anybody. And I think I dealt with that when, what's the thing where after you've given birth?
Postnatal depression.
Yeah,
that's it.
One. So yeah,
You went through that?
Yeah.
That's very common, yes. Thank you, sister. What's your name? Please say your name.
Nifemi.
Nifemi, thank you for sharing. Okay, And thank you. You see, that really is very poignant, Nifemi. Thank you so much. What about my other sister?
Mine is physical changes. I'm even going through it right now.
Okay.
My eating habits, my sleeping habit. Actually, I alluded it to a weather change. But now that you're speaking about it, I can see that it's actually not weather.
Uh-huh.
I've been sleeping a lot. Sleeping a lot, eating a lot, that I'm even struggling to fast. So,
yeah, those are drastic changes. And when that has to happen, when you start to feel that, then it's kind of like a cue to you. Yeah, I call that self-awareness. Sister, my two sisters, thank you so much. I didn't get your name. Eniola. Okay, Nifemi Eniola. I just want to say, you know, that's what I call self-awareness. If you can pick out some things about yourself, all right, and thank you for being brave. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And that's because it can be easy to talk about yourselves like that. Don't forget, well, I never told you, I am actually Nigerian born and bred, okay, myself. And so I know, you know, how we were all raised, you know, to keep things to yourself. Don't, how do they call it now? Don't Men don't cry, yeah. I mean, they're not human beings. They've got blood and flesh like myself. Okay. Yeah, so it's all those myths that's been going around. Thank you. All right. Let's just continue. The next slide. I want to bring a couple of, it's just some key statistics. Okay. The prevalence statistics says 1 in 4 experience mental health issue. I mean, this is in Great Britain. 1 in 4. I mean, those who've got, you know, who are got mathematical minds, you'll know that that is a high rate. If the truth be known, but the point is, even these statistics doesn't really do it justice. From my background, I know it doesn't. There's a lot of people who would not report or say anything about their mental health. Then you got the access. 60% of those need treatment. And when they say treatment, please, 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 it's not about being confined to a mental hospital. All right? That's another myth. It's a big myth, okay? It's not a stigma. All right? So, then the economical side of it is about the amount of money. 105 billion costs the UK annually. That's how much it costs them to put into mental health. Then the disparities, significant variations across the region. So it's not like it's only Nigerians, or it's only black people, or it's only Chinese, or whatever. Across the board. Okay, thank you. And then I also brought, you know, the UK statistics further. I went further because these ones are quite important. Mixed anxiety and depression is Britain's most common mental health disorder. Now, who's ever felt anxious? Thank you. But believe it or not, it's under mental health. All right? It's not mental illness. I have to keep telling you this. But it's under mental health issue. Yeah. Before I came here, I had a bit of anxiety. And what is that about? I know what it is about. It's about thinking, okay, I know that I'm going to be talking to a lot of new faces. And it's not my usual environment. And I don't know what to expect. Before we came, I was thinking, I hope we don't get lost. We did a little bit, but we were okay. But you see what I mean? added to my own anxiety. Every one of us will experience things like that when we have a task ahead of us. So this is why I'm saying that figure of 1 to 4 is not actually really, when you think of people going through anxiety, yeah? It comes in so many variations. But the key is, how do you manage it? That's the key. Some people find it very difficult to manage. Okay? All right. I just want to continue now. Okay. About 7.8 of people meet the criteria for the diagnosis here in England, in the UK. And about 4 to 10% of people in England will experience depression in their lifetime. That's a reality. And there's something they call stressors, you know? When we feel stressed, there are certain things that are called stressors. Those stressors are the things that causes us to become stressed. I don't know whether anybody understands what stressors are. I mean, if you think of the word stress, why do we become stressed? The things that cause you to be stressed are the stressors. One of the most common stressors in our lifetime here, I tell you, there's quite a few of them. Divorce. Moving home. Jobs. Children. Thank you. Anybody knows any more stressors? Bills. Thank you. Immigration status. Huh? Weather. Yeah. I'm telling you, there is a lot of stressors. Now you see that there's a commonality. We're all experiencing all these things. I just need you to know that this thing called mental health, right? It's just something we need to be aware of. Just an awareness, okay? It's not a stigma, and you're not alone. The moment you start to think, I'm the only one experiencing something, I'm the only one doing this, I'm the only one that you've isolated yourself, then you will feel like something bad is happening to you. But you're not alone, because every one of us has talked about that just now. So thank you all for actually helping me out. Okay. Now, I want to look at the trend. I put this there because we need to know some of the trends, some of the things that's actually causing low mental health. There are rising levels, was reported nationwide, that anxiety is one of the highest, okay, causes of low mental health. Then you have social media. Increased usage linked to mental health. Social media is one of the most linked things. How many young people are here? I'm young as well. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Who really, I want to word this well because this is not I'm not stigmatizing anyone. When it comes to social media, how many hours do you spend on your phones? Not. Okay, this is reality checkup. Yeah. Honestly, I am not being picky, but I'm just telling you the facts, okay? Because of the line of work that I'm in, I'm a psychotherapist, but I also work in different trauma work and mental health issues. But this is one thing I had to make sure. This is one of my discipline. Some people think nowadays if you're not on Facebook, oh my God. Well, I'm not on Facebook. WhatsApp, be careful how many messages you send to me because I will not be looking at it for a long time. Not because of anything, but because it takes away my time of interacting with another human being. And in my line of work, I cannot not do that. And anything that takes away your time takes you completely away from interacting with your brother, your sister, your pastor, your uncle, your auntie, your friend, outrightly. Husband and wives. Yeah. I see somebody doing something. Yeah, honestly, for the government to put that on, you must realize that it's a serious issue. If we look at our homes, mine included, my children know now when they're at home with me, they're grown-ups, by the way, grandchildren as well, but when they're on this thing all the time, I'm always talking. Put that down. If you know you can't do without this, why did you come to visit me? And then the grandchildren, they are, okay, I won't go there. Because we feel that we have to buy them something like this, or even, what do they call the other one? Thank you. We have to buy them iPad for their birthdays. And maybe they're only, 4 years old? 5 years old? Yes. 2 years? Right. Thank you. You see what I mean? And the children has been conditioned to that from as early age as 2. So you can imagine as they grow up. Yeah. So anyway, enough said about that. I'm just kind of letting us understand that actually it's not only the young people, but us adults as well. All right? I know that. That's what I'm saying. Because I have young people, but who are in their 30s, who are in their 40s, and yeah, they do exactly the same. Okay. Right, I just want to do a disparity, just to, the difference between, next slide, thank you. The difference between mental health and mental illness, because I think this is very important. We can get mixed up sometimes. I have had the privilege of working in hospitals, doing trauma work in mental health hospitals. And believe you me, there's a difference between mental health and mental illness. Okay, what is mental health itself? It's your general state of well-being and state of mind. Something that should be looked after. That's it, mental health. Just how you manage your state of mind, your thinking, okay? Thoughts leads to behavior. Do you believe that? Yes. Okay. So that's why whatever you think, if it's going in the negative way, pray hard and just say, God, I rebuke these negative thoughts in my head right now, in Jesus' name. That's what I do. I don't have to kneel down to do that. I'm walking, I'm driving, something crossed my mind, it shouldn't be there. I'm so self-aware, and I say, Lord, just rebuke this thought now. I don't want it. And replace it with something positive. Okay? Now let's look at mental illness. Something that disturbs one's mental state and interrupts how one feels, think, communicate, and behave. Now you see that there's a huge difference. Okay. And I just want to say that in terms of regulating our mind, negative thoughts and positive thoughts, I couldn't find the statistics this time, but there's something that is there out on Google or whatever, that the amount of times that people think negative, honestly, it will blow your mind in a millisecond. That's why we all need to know how to regulate. We call it irrational thoughts. Okay? A lot of us go to extreme in the way we think. Hey, okay, okay, I'm going to be Nigerian now. Hey, oh my God. Want to see Bereo? Oh my God. I want ye. Oh my God. Thank you, whoever said that. And honestly, that is so irrational. Look, things happen for a reason. Everybody, whatever we do in our lives have been mapped out by the Almighty. Whether you believe it or not. I'm not saying there are no challenges, all right, along the way. Of course there are some challenges. But didn't God say that he will be there with us? Oh, yes. All along the way? Yes. Okay. Yeah. I kind of want to bring that to the forefront, this challenges thing. I have, in my own family, experienced people who, families or some people that I know, you know, who have come to this country with children and families and all of that, you know, come to green pastures. There's nothing wrong with that. How did I get here myself? You know? But you have to know that the moment that God has brought you here, he that brought you here is able to complete your steps. And because otherwise you wouldn't be here at all. That's the first thing to think. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit, a little story. Very quickly, very quickly. I know someone, a family, who came to this country 2 years ago. Whole family. Children, two young children and a couple. And believe you me, what they were told that is here in England that they're going to find here wasn't what they expected. But you know something? They were relentless. They were sad. They were angry. They were stressed. They felt anxious, you know. In my line of work, I had give them a lot of support and stuff and whatever. But you know, 2 years ago, the woman studied, finished the degree, but there were still more obstacles in the way. As they've, you know, overcome one, another one comes. Immigration is one of the most complex and difficult situation one can find themselves in this country. And the government do not realize how much damage it does to families. So, anyhow, relentlessly, they kept on. You know, prayer. When you pray, you must believe. Then they found the wife was given the job she's doing, was given the permit, which allowed the family to stay. Within those 2 years, they bought a property. Even I was shocked. You know? Shared ownership, they bought a property and they've moved in. And I'm thinking, I looked at them and I thought, you know, God, you're so awesome. There are so many people out there who are going through this. But little do they realize that God is actually on their side, by their side, leading them, ahead of them. So I want to encourage anyone here who is going through that, right? Please, please, please. The more you stress, yeah, the more damage it's going to be to your health. Then if you get your papers, when your health is gone, what's going to happen? And let me put it another way. Your anxiety, your stress, your anger, your frustration, if you heighten it, is not going to change the situation. Because God is planned, He's got it planned, and step by step by step. Yeah? So I believe that wherever you are, whatever it is, the situation is, it may not be immigration, it might be other things. Just put your hopes and your trust in God. There's something they always say, let go and let God. That's it. I like that saying. Because if you don't let go, you think you can do it by your own understanding. But if you let go, you're telling God, I'm in your hands. Okay. All right, let's quickly move on because it's question and answer. So we're on the looking after your well-being. How is that? You know, our emotional resilience. It's about developing emotional resilience and coping with stress. All the things I've just been talking to you about. Yeah? That's what it's about. Emotional resilience is the ability to adapt and bounce back when something difficult happens in our lives. For example, this is just the minutest things that I've listed here. Making some lifestyle changes, looking after our physical health, give ourselves breaks now and again, and use support network that is around us. How many people work full-time here? I just need to know an idea. There's a few. All right. Oh, wow, everybody. Would somebody volunteer to just answer a question for me? It's not a tedious one. Can I ask anyone? Hand up. Who wants me to ask them? Oh, yes, young man. Thank you. Yeah. What's your name? Yinka. Yinka. Thank you. All right. Well, and the lady at the back, I'll come back to you. When was the last time, Yinka? You work full time? Huh? Oh, he's a minor. Sorry. I better put my glasses back on. Okay. Okay, I'll come back to you. What's your name? Huh? Toby. Oh, no, the lady that speaking.
Toby.
Toby. Okay. All right, Toby. You work full time?
Yes.
Okay. When was the last time you give yourself a break? Divine intervention.
I do get annual leave.
Huh? You do get annual leave?
Yes, but I use my annual leave to work.
But?
To work somewhere else.
Oh. Yes. Toby, is your full name Oluwatobiloba?
Yes.
Doctor, medical. Dr. Oluwatobiloba, you are number one in the list of priorities. I said that, and every one of you are the same. The reason I said that is, if anything happens to number one, you see, it's like, I'm going to speak loud. It's like, you got that hierarchy. At the top, something breaks, the whole, yeah? So, if you are not taking care of you, what will happen? What was that? I heard something German. Toby. Okay. I really just want to encourage you. Thank you so much for actually volunteering to talk to us. This isn't, we're not picking on you, but you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. So please, give her a round of applause. Thank you. Now, the one thing I'm going to ask you, Toby, when is the next time you're going to take a break? That has to happen. Yeah? Yeah. No one's going to die while you're away. Nothing's going to happen while you're away. But you need to take care of yourself. Yeah? And go somewhere where you're going to enjoy and relax and, yeah? Okay. Thank you. Right. I think we're coming to the end of that now. Okay. The 5 steps to mental health and well-being. It's about connect, being active, taking notice, keep learning, and giving. Right, if we look at the connect one, it says you connect to people around you. We've said that already, connectivity, less of the phone, yeah, interaction. Be active, discover a physical activity you enjoy and fits your level of fitness. Do you know when it comes to being fit, it's not about just going to the gym. A lot of people think that because that's the new trend, it's a Gen Z thing, You've got to go and get the muscle and go to the gym, but that's not all. There's so many ways we can do it. What fits you is what you do. But the most common one is walking. But when I say walk, there is walk and there is walk. It's not walk rushing to walk up and down. It's actually leisure work. You walk intentionally. You be intent. Set out a time to go for walks. And when you're walking, you notice that everything around you, the things you don't even listen to normally, try and listen to the birds. When was the last time anybody walking actually thought, oh, wow, that bird sounds different? You wouldn't even know which one is it. I can see how absurd that sounds to you. Exactly. I can just see how, what? Bird? You look at me at a bird. But believe it or not, a part of nature. You are actually admiring nature. And the more you admire nature, the more it takes your mind away from your stress. Because you're noticing what's around you. That's the catch. Okay? But when you are full of, oh my God, I have to do that, I have to do this, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, and you're walking, you don't notice. Some people, because they're so much wahala in their heads, when they want to cross the road, they didn't notice a car was coming. That's what I'm talking about. That's not walk. That's carrying stress with you. But when you really go on a leisure walk, you will not be thinking about anything that you're carrying. You will allow yourself to actually enjoy the nature that God has put around you. The trees, the birds, if you're around water. In fact, some people usually tend to walk around the canal because when you see flowing water, it's peaceful. You know, it calms you. These things sound silly, but I'm telling you, they are very, very helpful. And you don't need to go to the doctor for that. It's what you can apply to yourself. Okay? All right. And then we have the next one, apart from connect, we've done be active. Take notice, catch sight of the beautiful thing. Ah, there you go, I've said it all. Yeah, all right. Keep learning. Try something new. Rediscover an old interest. Take up a different responsibility or work. Learn to play an instrument or cook. I know a lot of Nigerians know how to cook. A lot of Nigerians. Well, I don't know about men, but I know that a lot of women, Nigerian women, are raised to cook. But I also have met Nigerian men who are good cooks. I have to be honest. Are you one of them? Are you sure it's not just your wife that does the cooking? Oh, bless you. But truthfully, part of psychology is that when you learn to, that's where you can use your phone. Try to learn to bake a different cake that you've never, do baking that you've never done before. They're coming in. I think we better go. So, if anybody has it, please just give it in. Because we're running late now. But we've come to kind of like when to seek help. Can we go to when to seek help for a minute, please? So that people will have that. Yeah, thank you very much. So, please, if you have difficulty sleeping, if you experience changes in appetite or unplanned weight changes, difficulty getting out of bed, difficulty concentrating, loss of interest in things. You know, some of us have shared some of these. Inability to complete usual tasks and activities, or even feeling irritable, all right? Frustration or restlessness. It's important to, when you start to feel all of those, important to know that that's when you need to start checking yourselves, okay? All right. All right, in conclusion, all right, feeling in control is part of your well-being. Being able to make rational decisions, being in touch with your feelings, being able to form positive relationships, feeling good about yourselves. There's something where some of us, we don't believe in ourselves. Yeah? Okay. And knowing how to look after ourselves, which is self-care, and knowing when and where to seek help. So the seeking help, which is the end of this session, the next slide, I've put it on there, and I know that the questions are coming in. So if I may ask, that can we leave that at the end so people can see it? Okay, and if they need to copy that later on, okay? I'm going to have to say this is the end of the slides and what I can talk about. But now we're going to look at the questions, if I may. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to walk towards that to be able to read it. Thank you. Oh, there's one here. I never noticed. Thank you very much. Okay. Question 1. Why do some black people view discussions about mental health as unnecessary? What? Does anybody know the answer to that? I can tell you just in one word. Huh? Thank you. It's part of the values and culture that we were raised in. Unfortunately, in this situation, we have loads of really fantastic values. I mean, I'm proud to be a Nigerian. Loads of values, but there are some that are not so good for us. All right? But the word I would have used is stigmatization. Okay? Is easily losing concentration a mental health disorder? How can one improve? Losing concentration just means that you've got a lot on your mind. Simple. All right? And you have to learn to put certain things aside in order to prioritize other things. All right? So if you're focusing on your studies and you want to study, and so many other things are in the way, you need to know how to park them. In my line of work, when you're working as a therapist, every therapist has problems too. But when you go in front of an individual, you've got to park your own problem. Do you see what I mean? And that's how you need to kind of learn to do it. All right? So try, whoever that is, to park the issues that you're carrying. Concentrate on the immediacy. And then you can go back to the issue when you're finished. Okay? I'm not saying ignore it because it's so difficult to ignore. But when you're mental, in your mind, when you say to yourself, all right, I need to study now. I'll think about that issue later. Yeah? And then there's another alternative, all right? Try and make sure that those issues, you write them down. Get them off your chest. Get them off your head. Once you've written them down, then you say to yourself, I'm coming back to them. And then you go and concentrate on them. Yeah? What level of anger is linked to mental health? That is a very good question in a way. When you look at the last slide that I had earlier on, it showed faces, emojis. The anger is also part of our normal mental health. It's okay to be angry. All right? You cannot, everybody has experienced anger one way or another. But, you know, when they talk about anger management, when your anger goes to the next level, you will know. There are some times that I've kind of got frustrated and angry with my beloved husband. And I'd probably say something very sharply. But I know. I am aware that I've done that. And I go back and I say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have spoken that way. Yeah. You have to be honest with your feelings. You have to be honest. And being honest means you've got to understand that when your anger's gone to the next level, right, and you're aware of it, you do something about it. Okay? Is procrastination a part of poor mental health? No. Procrastination is a psychological thing. The reason why people procrastinate is because they do not like the task they're about to do. So they give themselves reasons not to do it yet. Yeah, I use that, yet. They convince themselves, yeah, I'll do it later. I have to go and look after the kids. But what you're procrastinating about, you need to look at it and say, why am I running away from it? Why am I not, wanting to do this? Ask yourself the question, then deal with that. Once you ask yourself that question, you will know. That's the root of procrastination. We all do it. Yeah. But when you don't do something about it, it can escalate into a mental health issue. Yeah? How can physical changes like excessive sleeping and eating be addressed after it has been identified and linked to mental health? Physical changes like excessive sleeping, how can you address that? this can be a physical and psychological problem, okay? Physical in the sense that there might be an issue with us, you know, some sort of diagnosis that the doctor, you have to go to your doctors for that, all right? But there's the other aspect where it's because you're too tired. You're pushing yourself too far. You're pushing yourself too hard. The body can only take so much, okay? And be aware and be careful not to lead to breakdown, okay? So it's okay when you're feeling that way initially, but just ensure that you do something about it. You either go to your doctor if you feel that it's your body that's aching. Otherwise, okay, thank you. So let me just continue with this. Should you stay away? I hope that answer I gave to that person is okay. Okay, because it's partly psychological and physical. So remember, you will know yourself if it's physical something, all right? And you can check with your doctor and let your doctor know. But if it's not a physical one, then you're overstressing yourself. Should you stay away from people who affect your mental health if they are your family member? Aha! Okay. This actually is a very interesting question. You don't run away from people because they have issues. That's the time you need to support them. Hard and harsh as it may seem, trust me, I am talking from experience. Yeah. If you abandon them, well, what's going to happen then?
I think the question is if the family members are causing you, yes, when they are the cause of your problem.
What I'm trying to say is, but you know, when you have people who are difficult, okay, that's like saying dealing with difficult people. That's the question. You deal with it, okay? They might be causing you stress. All right, let me just tune out a little bit. What if that person was not just a family member? This is my own take on it. What if that person was your mother or your father? What would you do?
What will you do? And if it's your wife.
Or your daughter.
Yeah.
Or your son. Or, yeah. Or even your brother. I know, I get what's in this. But it still goes back to what I said before. Okay? The thing about mental health also talks about reaching out to other people. Okay. Let me ask a question. What does anybody do when you have no choice? You know, something you cannot control. What do you do in that situation? Huh? I'd like somebody to just tell me if they think they have an answer, because we need to understand this. I want the person who's asked. Thank you, my lady.
You accept it and pray about it.
Acceptance.
And pray about it.
Okay, that's one. Yeah. What's your name, my sister?
Kemi.
Kemi. Oh yes. Oh yeah. You spoke earlier on, Kemi. Thank you. Yeah. Look, there are certain things that is beyond our control. Okay, but it's you need to deal with yourself. Your outlook on the issue it's yourself that you need to control. You can't control others, but I can control myself.
Sorry, I'm the one who asked the question.
Ah,
Yes. Because I have someone, I'm not going to say who it is, but the person's very close. And it's not my husband. Don't worry.
what's your name? What's your name?
My name is Sophia.
Ophia.
Sophia.
Oh, Sophia. Okay.
Yes. So it's affecting my mental health, like, majorly.
Okay.
And I feel like I have to distance myself a little. So the question is, as what Pastor said, like, it's becoming a point where it's affecting my peace, it's affecting my mental state. So then what do? You say that you have to not leave that person at that point, but it's affecting because
It's affecting you.
the person is very negative individual, and it's not allowing, it's keeping me in darkness, if you understand what I'm saying. But they're very, very close to me.
So what can you do? You're
Exactly.
not in control of that person.
Yes.
Okay, Sophia. But you're in control of you. So what do you do? How do you find your own peace?
By staying away. So I feel guilty for staying away.
But does it change the situation?
No, it does not.
That's what I mean. Do you get where I'm going now?
Yeah.
Because you're still going to be feeling a sense of guilt. Okay. So you need to do something else that is within your own capacity. But the main thing is you want peace with it. Yeah? Only you know that. I don't know the person and nobody else knows the person. But what I'm trying to say is, whilst you're protecting yourself, because you only have control over you. Okay, I only have control over me. All right, so you do what is safe for you at any given time. All right, but maybe abandoning the person because of the kind of spirit you have, you feel guilty. And that's God's spirit. Yeah? And plus, pray. Ask God to guide you.
Thank you.
God bless you. How can I overcome the bad anxiety of passing my practical driving test? Hallelujah. I have failed.
Let us lay hands on you. We'll lay
Okay, I have to be honest. This person, you've already said the word there, anxiety. Okay. That's the key. You're just anxious. And the reason you're anxious is probably because you failed once, you failed second time, you failed third time. And then your mind is going into irrational drive that I'm going to fail again. So before you even get there, you've already failed. I'm not saying you have failed, but I'm saying your mind is telling you that. All right? So you need to retune your mind and pray that God will retune your mind and just give you a sense of peace. Yeah? So that next time you go, just believe that you can do it. Because I know you can. Otherwise, you wouldn't be behind the wheel trying to do a test, whoever you are. Just believe in yourself and believe that God can help you to do it. I can do all things through Christ. Okay. Sorry, I know that there are... Okay.
Thank you so much, Ma. I just wanted to respond to the last question, if it's okay, because I'm a doctor. I think some things we're not aware of some certain things are available to us as patients, and other people, most people from the other race now, are aware and they take advantage of it. It's not unusual to have anxiety with driving tests, but you can actually ask for medications. There are medications that work very short term, such that you can have something before your test, or even whilst there are people that take just a little bit of propranolol, just a small medication. during your practice, it doesn't mean that you're suffering with anxiety as a big medical problem, but you need to be able to cope with that situation. So you can have a little tablet. It helps you relax during your test. You get it right. Rather, during your practice, when you get used to it, before the test, an hour before, take a little tablet. People take these things even before they fly. Some people have anxiety with flying. So if you've prayed and everything is not helping, ask for medication, just something small. You don't need to continue to take it afterwards. I just wanted to offer that as another, as an alternative that can help.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, doctor. Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you. Right, let me just read this one because... Oh, my God. I'm just going to read this one out.
It's a joke. Oh.
Oh, dear. Is being overly happy associated with mental health? When you say overly happy, there must be something that's making you happy. You know, it's good to be happy. The emoji I showed you earlier on, happiness is one of our emotions. Anger is one of our emotions. Sadness is one of our emotions. Love is one of our emotions. So, yeah, being happy, it means you're in a good mental health state in the sense that you're feeling good. And you thank God for all the blessings He's giving you to make you feel happy. Yeah? That is, when you say overly happy, I mean, I just see that as being, you know, when somebody's just got joy in their hearts, in their spirit. Yeah, that's good. Okay? And, you know, to try and let people get infected with that, your happiness. Okay. They're coming fast. African parents view a child's complaints about depression as a crime, often assuming it's about dating. Isn't it normal for children to feel this way? So, I'm assuming this person is saying that when a child is complaining about their depressive moods, it's a crime. I'm not quite sure how the parent will now assume that it's about dating. Okay, so that kind of, I'm a bit miffed about that. But isn't it normal for children to feel this way? Let me tell you something. The highest rate of, one of the highest rates of mental health, low and bad mental health, is amongst the young people, teenagers. I work with young people sometimes. And like I told you, all the media, the social media, the effects of peer pressure, friends, and all the rest of it, it really causes our young people to get into a state of depression. Some of them even self-harm. Okay. So it's good to talk about it. And what I would say is, if somebody's talking to parents, a child is talking to a parent, you know, there are numbers that can reach out to. The school, you can talk to your school. I believe maybe this is a young person talking. And reach out for help through school. Because schools, most of the schools are now linked to talking therapy support. Yes. All right? And they're anonymous. So that's what I would say to this person. Please reach out to the school as well. And maybe the parents will then realize how serious it is when they reach out to the school. And there is nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of young people who now take psychological therapy just to help them along the way, yeah? Not having the zeal to do things you usually do and enjoy doing, is that poor mental health? And how do you come out of it? Yes, that's one of the things that I said to look out of earlier on. Actually, it was listed that it's kind of a depressive mood, I would call that. When we're feeling depressed, when we have a depressive mood, become lethargic, okay? We become tired. We don't feel like doing anything. We don't feel like getting up. We don't feel like going out. We don't even feel like talking to people. When one starts to feel that way, please, please, please reach out for help. I wouldn't say that you're mentally ill, but I would say that you just need someone to talk to, because you cannot do it on your own, okay? When people isolate themselves like that, we talked about COVID earlier on, it's not good for mentality. Yeah, that's a form of beginning of wanting to isolate yourself. So, yes, that's the best way to do it. Just reach out, okay? Nothing's wrong with you. You're being self-aware, and when you reach out, it fizzles out. Okay. There's another thing about exercise. Whatever you can do, walk, yeah? Or whatever it is that you want to do. You need to do that because it builds the serotonin in the body. And when the body is low or on a particular chemical, yeah, we start to feel very tired. We start to feel very low. But exercise or doing something that's energetic boosts it up, all right? So that's something to bear in mind as well. We've come to the end. Please, this is what I said about the mental health emoji. See, somebody talked about anger and whatever. It's about happiness, it's normal. Sadness is part of our emotions. Love is part of our emotions. And then being angry is also part of our emotions. We cannot say to ourselves, I don't want to feel, I want to stop feeling angry. You have to think, what is it that is making me feel angry? Then you can deal with that issue, okay? So for urgent help, this is just a quick one. And then they can redirect you. So 999 if you feel someone is in danger, but urgent mental health, if you need that, 111 online, and select the mental health option, because it's there. The government recognizes that a lot. And you can just do the crisis text as well, okay, which a lot of young people reach out to, the text, just like a shout, and somebody will come and help you. I want to say thank you to God for his presence here.